Good Wednesday afternoon, friends. Busy weather day. I think it's an understatement.
I mean, it's Wednesday. I feel like I'm already talked out on this storm. So
yeah, that's the thing about these type of big storms, right? We see them well ahead of time, and we want to obviously make sure that you're safe, whether you're here or kind of nationwide.
Almost anywhere this weekend. And I think the big change from yesterday, if you haven't heard already, is there was a major shift overnight. A lot of the models now, almost all of them, have shifted northward with the storm track, meaning a much bigger impact potentially here.
Absolutely. So I think it's a lock that we're talking about the cold, which we had been talking about, right? Some of the coldest air that we've been seeing in a couple of years. Now we're starting to see that higher end, higher impact potential for us here in New England. So we have issued a next weather alert for this weekend. We're talking about Saturday, Sunday, and even into Monday. The first part of this storm is the cold. The coldest air of the season, wind chills that are well below zero, both Saturday and Sunday. And then the storm track starts to trend a little bit further north and potentially a major snowstorm, one of our biggest we've seen in a couple of years.
Yeah, it'll be a major snowstorm for a large part of the country. The question is it going to be a major one here?
Correct.
But yeah, starting with the cold, that again, we showed you this yesterday, literally coming right out of northern Canada, right from the North Pole, just nasty stuff. I would imagine later in the week we'll start to see some wind chill advisories be issued. Particularly for Friday night into early Saturday, that's when the windiest conditions are. You said 10 to 20 below, certainly possible. But actual air temperature is also going to be up frigid.
What I think is kind of spectacular about this storm is it's such a high impact, it's such a far-reaching storm that the hurricane hunters have actually done some reconnaissance missions into this storm in order to try to grab additional data to really give us a better grasp of what's happening. Just we don't have the same sort of sampling as you go up into Canada, so they're hopefully helping us out with that.
I mean, you're never going to have enough data, right? Like,
exactly.
I mean, that's what meteorology and physics is all about. The more data we have, the better the forecasts will be. And I think as we've seen that over the last couple of decades, as we've gotten more data, more satellites, that has enabled us to become more and more accurate with the forecasts.
Absolutely. So we talked about Saturday morning. You're waking up with temperatures, air temperatures that are well into the single digits, even below zero as you go out to the west. This is the start of a really cold stretch. Our feels like temperatures, when you factor in the wind, will be 10 to 20 below. Yeah,
and this would be a big main story if it weren't for a major snowstorm and ice storm going across the country. This is becoming secondary, but it shouldn't be forgotten nonetheless. If you're heading out this weekend, it's going to be darn cold. But the focus today really is on this major winter storm that's going to be impacting dozens of states. I think within the next couple of days, we'll start to see blizzard warnings in places, ice storm warnings in others. You know, it doesn't really ramp up until like Friday. So we got a few more days still to sort of pontificate and look over all the data. But it is definitely going to be probably the biggest storm the country's seen in a few years.
Absolutely. As we said at the top, the risk for the major storm for New England is increasing. The latest model trends are pushing that storm track a little bit closer to us. So the impacts to us, it's not just the cold, it is also the snow. So where we stand right now with the evolution of the forecast, we are sort of 4 to 5 days away. We're still watching the trends, but the trends are starting to kind of solidify a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about the trends when you're in the window day 4 and 5, and overnight there couldn't have been a more obvious trend towards a northern track and for impact here. Now, it doesn't mean that couldn't shift back to some degree, but the thing is, as you get closer and closer to the actual storm time, the likelihood of a major track shift sort of decreases because you're getting more data, as we said. And so a shift like this, I would be surprised if tomorrow at this time we were like, it's going to miss.
Absolutely.
Feels really unlikely at this point. Now, the finer details will come in the next few days.
And by that you mean the timing of the first snowflakes falling, just the amounts. We have a good idea, and we'll show you that in just a little bit, as far as what we're kind of thinking amount-wise, but the exact areas that will pick up what remains to be a little bit seen. High pressure building in. This is coming straight from the North Pole. Perhaps some record-breaking cold will build in, and that's going to bump into a subtropical jet, atmospheric river coming off the Pacific Ocean, coming off of the Gulf of Mexico. When you have those two competing forces, you get what we're going to see, especially through the deep south. This is going to be a recipe for some big-time crippling ice. And keep in mind, the south simply don't have the weather removal equipment that we have up here.
Yeah, I mean, you couldn't have either one of these occurrences on their own would be a major story. This major high pressure system Arctic outbreak, or this atmospheric river of water coming into the southern tier. Put them together, and again, this is why we're talking about one of the bigger storms we've seen in quite some time. So I think when all is said and done, and the storm is in its biggest and rarest form, it could be over 1,000 miles wide. From, look at that, snow to ice to rain, almost covering the entire eastern half of the country.
I'm most worried about the ice threat, because just a little ice can throw a wrench into things.
Right.
But when we think about some of those big, like Atlanta, all it took was a little bit of ice and people were stuck on highways. It was like the blizzard of '78 for them.
Yeah.
What you're looking at right now is some upper level vorticity. What this essentially is sort of a measure of the atmospheric energy at about 500 millibars, 5 miles above the ground. There are two pieces that that are highlighted that I want you to watch, the evolution of things. So today, they're still kind of offshore or off stream. As we get into Thursday and Friday, these become closer. Watch as they phase, and you start to see the pieces of the puzzle that become this big time storm.
Really is fascinating. Like the fact that we're tracking these two pieces of energy, both several thousand miles away, one up northern Alaska, the other one off the Pacific, and we feel rather confident in how these two energies are going to eventually meet up and produce a major storm. So,
and especially for us, this is really the evolution of our storm.
Exactly. Yeah. So just goes to show that this is why we still feel like there's room for a little bit of change when we're talking about elements that are still so far away.
Right.
Here we go with the latest sort of model data and futurecasts for across the country. You'll see on Friday is when things start to pick up, and it's in the desert Southwest where this all starts. In Phoenix and New Mexico and those types of areas. There will be a little bit of snow in Denver. The forecast in Denver for the Pats game has changed just a little bit. There won't be snow on Sunday, that's coming earlier, but the temperatures now, instead of being in the 40s, look like they're going to be much colder, again, thanks to this storm.
Absolutely. The good news is it will be dry, so Drake's going to have an easy time passing the ball around. But we'll talk about that in a little bit. Notice that kind of stream coming right off the Gulf of Mexico, kind of being injected right into parts of the Tennessee River Valley as this storm pushes offshore. You're talking about snow starting as early as, I would say, midday Sunday and not wrapping up until we get into Monday. Again, this will push off, still leaving us with some lingering snowflakes. The timeline, again, still ironing that out a little bit. But when you talk about thousands of miles stretching from Dallas to the Atlantic Ocean, Dallas to Richmond, Virginia, and then eventually up into New England, that is a big time impactful storm. Snow for northern Arkansas, into the Ohio River Valley, into the Mid-Atlantic, the southern Appalachians, into even into New England.
Yeah, that purple area represents, this is one model forecast, but not an outrageous one. That purple area indicates 12 inches or more, and you're talking about an area from literally the panhandle of Texas up through New England. That's a huge area of impactful weather. Now, we haven't dialed in real tight here, but if we were, you would see that New York City, Washington, Philly are all sort of right on the line of a major snowstorm or getting some ice or rain mixed in. So, of course, outside of our forecast area, but interesting to watch how those major cities will fare.
Yes.
Because as the storm track has come a little bit farther north, that sort of the heaviest snow line has shifted just slightly up towards those coastal cities. But that's a story for another day. Needless to say, that's a whole lot of snow for a major portion of the eastern part of the country.
I mentioned that ice threat. I think crippling ice likely through Dallas into parts of northern Louisiana, southern Arkansas, into that Tennessee and Mississippi River Valley. Previously, if you tuned in yesterday, it was really kind of the border between Charlotte and Raleigh. That's I-40 there that connects Charlotte and Raleigh. I think that they're actually on the somewhat milder side, so ice now becoming more of a threat than snow was yesterday.
Yeah, just that little shift northward in track has moved, say, Nashville from the snow, basically the snow shield to the ice shield. In Atlanta now, they were firmly in the ice zone before. Now they're sort of on the edge. Maybe there's some more rain.
Miss out a little
these
bit.
little tweaks in track, which again will continue to occur, major sort of ramifications for a lot of major cities.
Yeah, you talk about the Dallases, you talk about the Atlantas. These are where we're expecting some of the biggest troubles. Dallas into Atlanta. and some of the mid-Atlantic, obviously, like New York City and Washington, D.C., we're going to see some big impacts travel-wise over the weekend.
If you have any plans to travel or on an airline anytime, say Friday onward, good luck, because this is going to be, it's so impactful for so wide an area, and I'm sure a lot of these places may just be shut down for a few days. There's no way airlines or airports in the South can deal with a foot of snow or half-inch ice accretion. That stuff is, that's major issues. That's hundreds of thousands without power in a lot of these areas.
And it's all the downstream issues too, right? Like maybe you might be flying through a place that isn't affected, but where's your airplane coming from?
Exactly.
Right?
I wanted to just show the change from yesterday to today. So I grabbed, this is sort of inside baseball a little bit, but I grabbed 3 of our more interesting models. The first one being, this is the American model, the GFS. This is what it looked like. And I just grabbed a random probability of 3 inches or more of snow.
Sure.
You'll see that the oranges, the bullseye was clearly in the mid-Atlantic yesterday, and today a shift. This is the least amount of shift, but the American model has definitely shifted
up to
northward.
The north,
we look at the Canadian model. You can see the bullseye was sort of south of New England today. Wow, big change.
And it's not just shifted as far as the location, but it's also the probability. The confidence has also shifted.
Exactly, and that's typical as you get closer to a storm. But and here's the European model, which you've heard about for years now on social media. A major shift. Watch this yesterday to today. Major shift in confidence. That dark red is literally saying 90 to 100% chance of 3 inches of snow in those areas. Or more. So a major shift in the last 24 hours. Again, maybe in 24 hours from now, we'll look at what the trends are, but I highly doubt we're going to be shifting quite that dramatically.
So one thing that I was just at a school visit a little earlier. One kid raised their hand and said, what is the hardest thing to forecast when it comes? Is it tornadoes? Is it hurricanes? And I said it was snow. And the reason I said that is forecasting snow is like one big math problem, right? It's not just the ground temperature. It's not just the cloud temperature. It's the entire profile. It's forecasting how much liquid water is in that cloud. And then it's a big sort of multiplication problem, right? And that is one thing that we're going to be doing over the next couple of days. I think with how cold we're going to be this upcoming weekend, the fluff factor, if you will, is going to be enormous.
Off the charts.
Off the charts. I think a normal, like sort of average multiplication problem that we all do is a 10 to 1. But and we say it sometimes when it's really sunny. 1 inch of rain, this would have been 10 inches of snow. You're talking at least 20 to 1, if not higher than that. And so it's going to be easy to move, but it's going to be
stack
a lot.
Quickly.
It's going to be a lot.
That's why the potential for 1 to 2 feet of snow is there, because these cold temperatures lend to getting ratios. We've seen ratios before at close to 30 to 1. So in that situation, if you get an inch of liquid precipitation, you're talking 30 inches of snow.
Right.
Now we're not forecasting that quite yet, but definitely that is sort of in the range of possibilities. And obviously, like you said, easier to move around. There is some good parts to this. It doesn't cling to the trees so much, so power outages not as much of a concern. But nonetheless, it's going to be light and fluffy. What I think is going to happen here is what happens on a lot of these storms. Most likely by Sunday night, early Monday, you're going to have a sort of coastal front set up, which is typical with these things. So just around I-95, just northwest of Boston, I bet you the temperatures in the Worcester area, Worcester Hills, are going to be in the teens. And along the coast, in a typical storm, they're in the low 30s. They're probably going to be in the 20s. This
upper 20s, low 30s, and that's where it's going to be that sloppy mess.
Exactly. So at any rate, we threw this together just as assuming this track does come to fruition, assuming we do have a worst case scenario. Obviously, it's going to be a highly impactful storm, closing multiple different airports. We wanted to give folks just an idea of what we're thinking for snow amounts, and so I said a foot plus is certainly possible within the realm of possibility. Obviously, we'll refine that as we get closer, but it's becoming more and more of a possibility.
Absolutely. I would say one thing that I would recommend is I don't advocate going and getting the bread and milk and the eggs just yet, but just understand that with the cold shot, perhaps the coldest air we've seen in a couple of years, obviously make sure the pipes are taken care of. Those type of preparations are done. Because come Sunday, we obviously have the Patriots. You can just kind of plant yourself and take care of that snow. just have the supplies ready that you can enjoy yourself and not have to go out on Sunday, because things will start to go downhill Sunday afternoon.
And those little things, like if you've got snow stakes for your driveway, you know, for the plow driver. I mean, it's been a while since we had a major storm, so these things that we haven't had to think about, you know, maybe make sure there's gas in the snowblower, little things over the next couple of days you can do so that your weekend you're not running around at the last minute and 0-degree temperatures preparing for a major snowstorm.
Yes.
I do think it's worth mentioning that some more good news with this storm. It's really just about the snow.
Yeah.
This is not a major a coastal storm in that we don't expect coastal flooding.
Yep.
The high tides are astronomically low.
Yep.
There will be some gusty winds at the coast, but this is not one of those raging nor'easters where it's 60-mile-an-hour gusts. I mean, it could be 20, 30, 40 at the coast, but again, I think the snow is really above and away the most impactful part.
Yeah, when you talk about the difference between 60 miles an hour and 30 miles, you're talking order of magnitude when it comes to the impacts at the coastline. As you said, the cold and the snow, the big impacts. I put this together yesterday. We kind of been tweaking it. How confident are we in what we can get? And I think it's a lock that we get the bitter cold. You're talking single digit below zero overnight lows Saturday and Sunday morning, afternoon highs in the single digits to mid to low teens. That's a lock. That's a guarantee.
And you might not have noticed this, but I also put a lock on the 3 inches of snow. I would be shocked if there wasn't at least 3 inches of snow in our area by Monday morning. I mean, that would be a major turn of events. So at this point, I feel like pretty certain in that. And you can see 6 inches and 12 inches as we get higher and higher amounts. Little less confidence, but again, as we get closer to the event, I expect we'll be able to more confidently, you know, we'll have the snow bands, we'll have the classic snow maps. We really like to see the high res models, and we get those closer to 48 to 72 hours ahead of a storm. Once we get those, we can sort of, we get a better picture of the local area.
Right. And that's not a cop-out. We see the YouTube comments every once in a while. We see, we can
Best
look
not
at...
to look at the YouTube comments.
Well, that's always true. But what we want to do is obviously give you at home the most accurate data. And we don't want you... I kind of compare a winter forecast like landing a plane versus riding a roller coaster, right? It's easy to say no snow or a lot of snow and riding those peaks and valleys. We like to kind of land ourselves right into the forecast.
Ideally, yes. And without too much turbulence.
Yes, exactly. So we are fine-tuning things. We should say it has been a long time since we got over 6 inches of snow in Boston.
1,426 days to be exact.
There you go.
Insane. The second longest stretch in history.
How confident are you that we break that?
If I were a betting man,
which you and I have talked,
I would say the odds now of 6 or more inches in Boston are greater than 50%. I'd put it on maybe 2 out of 3, 66% chance that Boston gets 6 inches or more. And that's saying a lot 4 days out. That's how much we've seen, that's how much the models have sort of come into agreement and shifted. So.
And how cold it is, how much liquid precipitation it is, all of those factors kind of playing into things. Here's the 7-day forecast. We're cold today. We have been cold today. We're mildest in the 7-day forecast tomorrow, but even then it's still kind of on the cool side of things. Friday back into the upper 20s. That's the start of the Arctic kind of plunge, especially Friday evening. Saturday morning, you wake up in the single digits below zero. Sunday morning, similar story. And then by Sunday afternoon, likely some snow moving into the area. And it's, I would say that the second half of Sunday is the most impacted by this snow.
Absolutely. We should mention that there is going to be a little bit of snow this evening. Obviously, it's sort of being overshadowed by a major winter storm and Arctic outbreak. But if you're heading out this evening between like 6 p.m. and midnight, there may be some coatings on the ground.
Absolutely.
Something to be aware of. We're going to be all over this. This is probably not our last YouTube hit of the week.
Not at all. I will offer you a silver lining. How about that? On January 19th, that was the climatological bottom of our temperature scale. So average temperatures now rising.
We're on our way out. We're almost done, except for that Arctic outbreak.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we appreciate you tuning in to this WBZ News Update. We'll have you updated both online and on air. Terry, appreciate you.
All right.
Yeah, we'll see you guys at 5 o'clock.